Okay, my meat is done. So what I may do, you can, if this doesn't work, that's fine. I'm gonna put it on broil and just have it, you know, caramelize a little bit on top. And then my meat's done and I'm gonna go ahead and make a little bit of potato salad. Hey, hi, I'm Amy, Amy Roloff in my little kitchen. And the reason I am laughing is because Chris is looking at me. Oh dear. Anyway, I am making a pork loin roast. And I know I already have a recipe over there at Amy Roloff's little kitchen with like a rub on it. And so that is another good pork loin roast recipe. But I just felt like I wanted to change this up a little bit. I'm not making pulled pork, but it is beautiful weather out here in the Portland, Oregon area. And I don't know, just thinking about spring and summer and stuff like that. So I kind of wanted to make this a little savory, not quite like barbecue sauce, but something along those lines. And look at this cute little roast. I mean, isn't that cute for just the two of us and maybe some leftovers? Just adorable. Got it at our local meat market, which I'm so excited about because it's just like 10 minutes, 15 minutes from here. And I don't have to go all the way downtown Portland. I have something really local and it's in Hillsboro. So anyway, I'm just gonna do a little different rub to this and then probably put like a really thick tomato paste with some spices in it over just around it. First of all, I'm gonna sear the meat because I think that's very important. With pork, it's a very dense meat. It can dry out quickly. I'm going to, you know, just kind of slowly cook it in the oven, but I'm gonna sear it first and then cook it in the oven or bake it in the oven. And then because I want it not quite like the brisket rub, but it's not quite like the rub with the recipe that I have at Amy Roloff's little kitchen. I just kind of want to make mix this up a little differently. So anyway, we're gonna get going. So I'm gonna create a rub. I'm just gonna kind of wing it here and then we'll go from there. So I dried off the meat first because that way the rub can adhere to it. I have about a tablespoon of salt because I don't think I need that much for all of this. I'm gonna probably put at least about a tablespoon. I'm gonna eye this really. Tablespoon of onion powder. I have maybe about a half a teaspoon of allspice. I think allspice would really kind of change up the flavor and maybe elevate it, I hope. I don't know. This is garlic powder. Because I love garlic, I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of that. And then I'm just gonna do, what is this? A little bit of thyme, just a little bit. And if you can really crush it, that'd be even better. About, maybe a teaspoon of thyme. Do I have garlic? Yeah. And this is maybe about a teaspoon of sage. And of course, how can you not have a rub without some kind of paprika? I always say paprika, but it's paprika. Paprika. I have smoked because I kind of want that smoked flavor. So I'm gonna do about a tablespoon of that. And then just a little bit, because you want that caramelization on it, just about a tablespoon of brown sugar. Let me get a fork, mash this all up. Kind of mix this all up. In fact, I should add just a tad of pepper to this. Give it some heat. I don't know, I debated whether cayenne pepper. Kind of want more of a softer, if that's even a word for meat, and kind of making it smoky. But I'm gonna add some pepper. I'm gonna start heating up my Dutch oven there. I'm putting it in like a pot, a Dutch oven. I'm gonna sear it in there because you wanna cover it for a little bit. And this is how I can sear it without, I don't know, let me think. I'm gonna have to think on that because a baking dish would probably be better. But we're gonna go with that. But probably searing your meat in like a saute pan and then like a shallow baking pan and stick it in the oven, that will work. Just cover it with foil. Cover it for a half hour just so all the juices and everything can kind of really get into the meat. And then when you uncover it, then you start getting that browning and caramelization on there. Okay, I am just going to ooh, kind of like that. Just a little more of allspice. Kind of like that allspice in it. And just a little bit more of that. Oh yeah, I'm gonna add a little more sage. It's a little more sage, about, I don't know, half a teaspoon more. And a little bit more garlic. Then I think I'm done. I definitely think a tablespoon of salt was enough. I think it was a tablespoon. Okay, and then we're just gonna rub it all over the meat. I'm gonna put some down on here. And the one thing about this rub, don't forget to do the ends too. Pat it down as much as you can. Shake it off. Okay, and then we are going to get ready to sear this. Oh, I think I like it when I'm a little bit hungry, cooking or baking, because it's just like so much more fun. And I'm looking forward to trying this. And then whatever I don't use on the meat, I will kind of use in the little bit of liquid that I might put on the bottom of this just to keep it moist and more moisture. Okay, ready to sear it. Hi, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you are enjoying it, and I would really appreciate it if you liked it and subscribed to it. And oh, don't forget to click that little bell up there and you'll be notified of future videos that are new and coming on my YouTube channel. So thank you so much for that. And I would really appreciate it if you shared the video and let other people know and encourage them to subscribe and like the videos as well. So anyway, thank you, and back to the video. Okay, if you hear some noise, it is because my fan is on. I am looking forward to getting a new fan for this stovetop. So let's put in the meat. Oh, I thought it'd be a little more, hot than that. Because you really want this to be hot if you're gonna sear it. Maybe I'll wait till it gets a little more hot. Oh yeah, it's starting to smoke now. I'm gonna try this again. Well, thought the pan was hot. So searing it will probably take anywhere from, depending on how hot you're able to get it, about 5 minutes. You see how it's getting all crusty? Try and hold it there. Because you want to sear it around the whole pork loin. Then I'm going to sear the ends and then we'll be ready to go. I guess I probably could have put this in a shallower dish. Maybe that's why it's not as... I think I am. I think I'm going to put this in a shallower dish. Okay. I'll be back.
Ooh, it's smoky.
Okay, I went ahead and put it in the most shallow pan that I had for this pork loin roast. But we are just going to drizzle a little bit of chicken broth on this, just around the meat, just to give it some moisture. Because I'm going to cover this for about, this may take maybe 3 hours to cook. You want it to reach, depending on how you want your pork, but I do recommend that you don't have it pink. It could be like a shade of light pink in the center of it. Unless you want to go, cook it all the way through. I think it's 145 temperature within the pork, but I think check your meat temperatures as to what you would like. I wouldn't mind it to be just a slightly, very light pink. That way I know it hasn't dried out completely and it's got a little bit more moisture. But that's why I'm putting just a little bit of chicken broth in here, just to create some moisture in it. And then after about a half hour or so, I'm gonna go take the foil or the lid off, and then I'm gonna create with some of this rub in here with a little bit of ketchup and tomato paste. I think that'll give me that, I don't know, not barbecue sauce necessarily, but just kind of a nice, robust, savory thing that I think will go great with potato salad. By the way, did I tell you I'm making potato salad? I think it is one of Chris's favorites. But I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. I love potato salad, but often it's got so much sauce, like mayo and stuff in it. Anyway, I'm gabbing on, I know. So I'm ready to put this in the oven at about 325 degrees, and we're gonna cook it for about 3 hours. This is just over 1.5 pounds of a pork loin roast, but I'm gonna use the thermometer in at 2 hours just to see where I'm at. But it could take up to 3 hours. Okay, ready to go. So I have it covered in foil. We're gonna cook it, like I said, about a half hour, and then I'm gonna uncover it and I'll let you know what I do then, okay? Okay, so I just took out the roast. Look at this little thing. Such a little roast for Chris and I. But anyway, look at all the juices there. This will make great gravy. Even if you don't use it on this little bit of roast, it'll definitely make great gravy. And just add a little more chicken stock, some of your flavorings to it. taste it first, because some of the spices that went on your roast are going in all of these juices. So basically all you may need is make a slurry, which is cornstarch and a little bit of this, of the pan or the roast juices, or just add just a little bit of water and make a slurry before you add and mix it all in here. So I'm just gonna kind of make this little tomato thing. Not exactly barbecue sauce, but because that's not what I want. That's really for pulled pork or brisket or something like that. Anyway, I'm just gonna take a tablespoon. I don't like leaving anything in here. I'm just gonna take a little tablespoon, a splash of apple cider. That'll give me some acidity. A little bit, I don't know, maybe a quarter cup of that. Ketchup. And then I'm just gonna use the same tablespoon and just maybe add, mix it up again, maybe just add a tablespoon of the spices. And then I'm gonna mix this all together. And if you would like more, add just a little more of the apple cider, or a little bit of the chicken broth, or some of these pan juices in here. I might have to give this a little taste, see if I need any more of that spices that I put on the pork loin roast. Let me see. Let me taste this just a little bit. This is good. I might just add just a little more, like a quarter more teaspoon, like a quarter teaspoon of the rub. And because there's enough moisture in here, I'm just gonna kind of drizzle this onto the meat. Gonna continue to cook. That's good. Because I'm not really doing a pulled pork, and I had a pork loin roast, kind of modifying it a little bit. So I'm just gonna add this to the juices. So if I do have any left over, this will make a really nice sauce. I'll mix that in here. Pan is still hot. Okay, so this has been cooking in the oven for about close to an hour. So I may go ahead and, because this is only 1.5 pounds, I was anticipating 3 hours, but I don't think it's gonna take that long. So it's been in there for an hour already. So I'm gonna use the temperature and just see where I'm at right now. Because basically, people, I don't trust myself. So get all this out of the way. Let me see what it is. Well, I will tell you this, if you need 145, this meat is done. So what I may do is just put it on broil, just so this caramelizes on top for a little bit. Let me test it again. Like I said, I don't trust it. I don't trust myself, really. Okay. Oops. You know, sometimes on these digital thermometers, I want to make sure I'm reading an 8 and not a 3. No, that's definitely an 8. Okay, my meat is done. So what I may do, you can If this doesn't work, that's fine. I'm gonna put it on broil and just have it, you know, caramelize a little bit on top. And then my meat's done, and I'm gonna go ahead and make a little bit of potato salad. Okay, the pork loin roast is out of the oven. It's cooled down, and I went ahead and sliced it. And I really like the sauce that I put on it. You can still, I still rubbed it down with some spices. They were just different than the one I have on at Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen recipe book right now. So this will go into the new one. There's many different ways that you can do a rub or cook your pork loin roast and things like that. I just kind of spur of the moment, got this out of the freezer, thawed it out, and thought, it's nice weather out here. This isn't gonna last very long. And I was thinking of, you know, late spring, early summer picnics. So I made a potato salad and the pork loin roast with kind of like this tomato paste, ketchup, barbecue-ish kind of sauce on it. So I'm really excited. I think it tastes great. Sliced it up. Hopefully Chris will like it. So you can find this version of a pork loin roast over at Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen as well as the potato salad and all of the other ones over on my YouTube channel. So please subscribe to it. I would be so excited if you did. And so anyway, from my little kitchen to yours, enjoy gathering around the table.